Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to the Xdwc2024. We're in round 4. Here are some phenomenal runs. And yeah, before we start, let's take a look at where we were last week. Here we go. We had Goblin out on top with 3001 points. Source, Delta, Knight, Freud, Shynx, Frostie, Manoa, woah, Vert, gibbz, Snow, Silney, Ferreus, Rainbow Shadow, Asdew, Tofu, Quasar, Uchi, me, Nature, Shiro, Mui, Killa, wdjzr, Plaza, Dizzy, who missed round 3, still up there, Zad, Amnesia, Clasps, Gordino, Des, Akawali. There's your 33 because that's all I could fit on the page. If we head over to the main screen, pull up the correct thing. Don't look at that. Okay, don't look at any of that. Never mind. I forgot what I was doing. Let's go to the game. Let's take a look at the map. So, you start out in this room. You jump down here, hit this pad. You can go straight on, you can go straight out here. Or you can go to one of these sides and you can either come down here and out, or you can pop out of this tunnel and you can go either up here into the slick or off to the side. If you go back to the start again, you can come down here, out the side this way, down here, out. This bit is a booster, gives you a bit of extra speed. You can dump down here, hit this ramp or hit these little bollards. There is a secret just over here with the Trackmania times, so W only score. The author medals, all of them actually set, so that is pretty cool. And we might as well grab the other secret while we're here before we head off to the rest of the map. There we go. That's the other secret. The mapper, JH. Cracking. We're going to go off to the left, and you come down here, double jump up here, over here, down this bit, and now's the weird part where I'm actually going slower than you would be in a normal run. Off of here, up here, round the corner. Here's where things get a little bit funky. Most people are just going to go boing off of here, into here, and then try and cannon it up into the teleporter. But there's going to be some sneaky stuff that we'll get onto later. Here, you come down here, hit this ramp, and then you can go through these warp zones to continuously gain speed and go round in a loop, going through all of them, however many times you need until you get to around 1900 to 2000 ups, and then you go off of this, up into here, and into this room which bounces you. So it's a little velocity pad and go boing, 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 stuff like that. It's basically just moon gravity. Then you come through here, and this is faster because the finish line is shaped like this, so you will see people curving hard to get over to this side of the screen. There we go. There's your map. And let's scroll and take a look. We had 189 players this week. There we go. We had 189 players this week, which is the most for any round 4. Beating the previous record from last year by 3. That was 186. Top 50 average roll time was 0.913. So a decent chunk of change between players, and there have been 126 players that have completed all rounds so far, which is incredible. Our record overall is 105. So everyone who completed rounds, please complete next round because we can definitely smash this. I think we only lost 10 people who didn't complete every round, who completed every round 1, 2 and 3 and didn't complete round 4. I think we only lost 10 people. We've got 24 of the finest records to show you today, going with 4 of our continental champs, then the top 20 including the 2 other continental champs, because no one showed up from Antarctica yet. Shame. But yeah, that is all the stats I've got for you. Without further ado, let's get into the South American champion. One broccoli. Here we go. So this run, 83.43 seconds, 131st place, which is probably quite, I mean, the amount of players that, sorry, yes, Africa continental, it's South Africa the country. I read the wrong bit of the information. Yes. So yeah, this is probably pretty representative of like the average Xonotic player. You know, we're going to see some incredible runs today, but realistically, the average player, even though this is below average finish time, this is probably your average player who's coming onto the server, you know. You've really got to push the average down way below the median finish time, because otherwise the average 5k is 30 minutes, and if you can do a 5k in 30 minutes, then you're doing pretty bloody good. But it's just, you know, selection bias. So going through the teleporter. The reason I like this run is because he's clearly got a good idea what he's doing, right? Going to be a few glitchy warp zones with him because South Africa is very far away from any of the servers we've got. He was playing on DE. He's strafing, which is good. Knows where he's going, which is always good. Definitely played enough to like have an actual route that, okay. This bit I did see a few beginner players completely struggling with the idea of being in space gravity and just getting a bit confused. It did throw me the first time I played it, I have to say. It did throw me the first time. Yeah, a decent record from Broccoli there, gotta say. Paul, coming up. Why is it Paul? That's wrong. Did I forget to delete them? That's 54.3, which is the time. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. Hold on. Professional streamer. Oh no, I've screwed it up. How do I fix that then? Names needs to go backwards. Again. There we go. Professional. Yes. Somehow when I deleted last week's, I hadn't deleted Paul, and I had one extra in there. Yeah. Control A doesn't work very well. Professional streamer. Anyway, next up we have wdjzr, African champion with a 58.43, a 34th place. 4, 6. Yeah, I use the numpad 4 and 6, the numpad arrow keys. African, Asian. Look, I'm really stupid. This is a cool route. I like this route. I like this route. This route can do work. You know, we're going to see some absolutely cooked routes, and I was worried for a bit that we were only going to see like 1 or 2 routes this week, but like it's actually been quite good. It's been all right. You're also just going to have to get used to people taking different routes. It's always the weird part when you watch these. You know, I go left all the time, which has gone right and right, but yeah, it's always difficult. But nicely through the teleporters there, getting good speed, keeping speed through here. Good turning. No chance of hitting. There's no need to panic. That's the one you've got to get close to, because then you come straighter into the finish line just like that. So that's the one that you've really got to get closest to. So yeah, Mackie, the teleports to the side are a thing. Weird camera tilt only happens in the demos, and it's probably going to go away, I think. Woodges has got pretty high ping. Yeah, so running down the middle, I watched your demo. Running down the middle was the correct thing for you to do. I don't think you would have... You probably would have been able to if you, like you said, you wanted to grind more. This is going completely off topic and just talking to one person, but if you said you wanted to grind more, if you had have, that would have been something I'd have suggested to you. Otherwise, I think you took the correct choice doing that. Anyway, next up we have everybody's favourite admin, Mr. Dez, your South American champion. R_water1, or there may be some other bugs. I spoke to someone about it, maybe mine. So this is Dez's run. I know he's trying something, because he didn't want to steal my route, but it looks like he's stolen my route. That's a nice slick. That's a really good slick. The Argentinian daddy. Ooh, only just gets the 600. So that teleporter going up, you have to be in 600 speed. That's a nice route. You have to hit 600 speed, otherwise you won't get 600 coming out. That, I think we're going to see some of that. That gets you good. That depends on spacing. It's no faster to hit your head. It's no slower to hit your head. It just depends what you're comfortable with. Yeah, bonking for spacing. Depends what you're comfortable with. I was doing it at the start, and then I swapped to not doing it. I know a few people swapped around, depending on how they were feeling and where they were going. What their speed was like entering that. Yeah, and then you might go for a different route. But that was a very good route. And there we go. Next up we have Nature with a 56.49. There we go. So let's see the route. I think, okay, so Nature's going on the bottom route. Like we said, we might see some of that bottom route. I'm hoping we see more top route. There's 26th, by the way, Nature 23rd. Yeah, so you come round here. I'm expecting we see this. This, I believe, is what most of the fastest people are using. Very nice slick. Nature's really good with slick. And then gets a ton of speed coming down here. Cuts off a decent amount of that corner, going really nicely AD. Good ramp up. Gets a decent ramp there. Not the greatest, does lose a little bit of time, but not too bad all in all. Gonna take this. This is what I think the standard is for around these parts. This is what a lot of people were doing. Greatly into the finish. Chasing it down. And a good turn, and he goes for the slower end, which is actually really surprising because I only beat Nature by a tiny little bit, and it's because of that end, because I was wondering he was ahead of me for the rest of the splits. Alright, let's take it into the top 20 and into a 55.79 from Killa. First time in the top 20, I believe. Oh, Canada. I don't believe that it's an alt of... ooh, interesting route there. Okay, makes for good spacing. Yeah, I don't believe it's an alt of cool. Good amount cut off there. Good spacing for that. Looks like it's going to come out with a... Oh, very... Okay, so that is the trick. That is the thing that people were talking about. You go off there, you head up the top. That's insane. And then that's a really difficult amount of speed to get through there. We're going to have to talk about that as it goes on. The way those warp zones worked. That was also really tight to being able to actually get over the top. Damn, Killa just not managing to get around those last corners. That was a really dodgy end there. But that up into the teleporter, that's what people were talking about. The finish, the warp zone thing is absolutely incredible, and there's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of variation in that. And yeah, so Killa had some pretty nice CPs on that one. Maybe a CP2, but a good CP1. And yeah, the finish, absolutely wrecking it, but it was a good run overall, enough for 20th place. Rolling on next, we have Uchi with a 55.31. Oh, I'm not sure if you got world record yet, Rain. We haven't got that far. We're only on 19th. So nicely done round there. 950 speed. Coming through. Decent spacing. And then great slick out. Ah, Killa's a Quake 2 player. Mad. Uchi's definitely done some tricks, because so I was having a terrible argument with how... Ooh, that is... Oh, I wish I'd known about that rather than using the curb in the middle and losing speed. And this is going to be a really good end as well. That's really good. Yeah, so whether bottom start or top start, like Killa's start was what I was doing, and then I couldn't get what Uchi was doing to work. But I think they're pretty... I do think they're pretty even where we are right now in the... At the bottom of the top 20. But, yeah. Very nicely done. That into the rock, into the teleporter, going up into the teleporter. Very nice route there. Losing basically no speed, but not doing the thing, as it has been called. Next up, we've got fairly big jump to Quasar with a 54.97. Quasar got the worst start CP1 split and a pretty below average CP2 split, so I'll be interested to see what his start route is. So going upper. Be interested if he takes... Oh, he takes this route. That's really interesting. Okay, it's good speed, and it's good off the slick. But yeah, a lot of time lost. I mean, about 50 to Uchi, who we've just seen. Really nice there. Great spacing, great speed up the top. Probably going to have a pretty good section through here. Yeah, nicely done. Very nicely done all the way to the bottom there. Going to come off with way more speed than needed here. Really nice splits. I'm seeing so many routes that I just did not know about, which is rare. Which is actually rare. This map, a lot of people have been talking about how many routes there are. Big PB. Yeah, a lot of people talking about how many routes there are this week, and that's definitely like, you know, there's been 3 things done already that I didn't know about. And in this, where you're on a server with everybody, that's pretty rare to know. The warp zone twitch is from lag. If you've got lower ping, that is purely that. Maybe CL no lerp, but it's, for the most part, it's just lag. Because it happens in duel as well. In duel demos. Here we go. We have Asdew with a 54.65. This is the fastest CP1 split by over 0.1 from second fastest. So this will be good. Big circle jump. Taking this side route very nicely. That's why it's the fastest. Almost looked like he was going for no slick. Mad. Not the greatest slick for a 1200 entrance, but still gets the very good speed out of it. That'll be why he had a bad CP2 though. Off the curb. So like you see, it doesn't quite get you the right spacing, but it's alright. But you have to fiddle around for it. I think that's the key thing that loses its speed, is you have to fiddle around with it. This is just absolutely mad that he can get enough speed by doing that without using the extra sides that most other people have been using. But if you can do it, it's faster because you're not going as far, you know. You're going straight through as much as possible. And a big finish. Big finish. Yeah, he saves 0.1 in the first CP and then he loses 1.4 in the second CP. That's kind of how it went with that. With the route that he took, same route that I took. You just couldn't... It depended if you could use the bottom route that we saw Uchi doing, and the second CP was fast enough to get you A, more speed, and B, keep up. And for some people it was, and for some people it wasn't. Next up we have a tied time. jhheight did it first, but also made the map, so, you know. Is he cheating? Probably not. Probably not. Did he beat his own author time? Oh, he had a 56 author time, didn't he? So he did beat his own author time. I believe jhheight may not have done slick. Based on the splits that I'm looking at, which is that he's got good CP1, very good CP2, and a terrible CP3, which is post-slick, where slick will give you the speed for it. Yes, he is not slicking. So, a couple of people mentioned the slick, that the map was really good with or without slick, and it's a shame that the routes weren't closer. They are incredibly close, but the fact that the routes weren't closer, and he's done that, that's incredibly cool. Yeah, that's such a good route that he just took up there. Gets the fast teleporters. Gets through to there. Now really, this will be a clean end, just the way it's looking. Very nicely done. But yeah, people were saying that thing, you know, the going up into the ceiling early that we saw Killa do, that was only possible because of the slick. But yeah, it had the possibility to, and I think it was pretty close. One of the things that jhheight said to me was that, who have we got, Ferreus? The slick was meant to be for slower people, that it would probably be closer, but the fastest people, it would be better to skip the slick, because the spacing would work out and they shouldn't be gaining too much off the slick, was his theory. That you saw him coming through with 1600 speed, that they'd only gain a little bit. 54.77 was the author time, so he did beat the author time. There we go. Yeah, so he said that was kind of the aim, but the problem was people slicked harder than he believed that they were going to, and so they smashed it. Next up, we have Ferreus. The almighty Ferreus. Best bot as usual. Going down, a little bit of a head hit. Nicely around the corner. Really clean strafing there. Should come pretty close. Does lose a bit. If we see anyone going faster, then that's where it starts to get faster. The faster you can go, the less you eat that ramp. So the other route that we saw like Asdew doing was you'd get to the ramp and be very close on the ramp, so you'd lose less speed when you got to the ramp. He's going for the curb in the middle. If you don't know why that's a curb to me, go watch some skateboarding videos. Really cool end here. And a big boost, and he's got great speed coming through to the finish. Absolutely not looking where he was going there. And this should be pretty clean. He's got a good line through, and yeah, very clean. Almost had a chance. You could see he was going to start strafing, but the end caught him and he had to adjust. You could definitely get round that corner fast enough and clean enough to start strafing to the end, and I think we'll probably see some people go for it as we get further up the order. Next in, we have another tide time, so we've got 2 tide times in a row with Mui. Anything entertaining about Mui? Mui had the second fastest CP1 and the fastest CP2 by a long way. So Asdew with the fastest CP1, but Mui had that and then backed it up because Asdew's CP2 is one of the slowest. Yeah, Mui's got a big strafe percent. I'm going to say as well, looking at the CP3, CP4 split, there is absolutely no way that he doesn't skip slick. So he's only going to skip slick. Mui's got incredible strafe percent. I've found out from... so I use a really high range on my... or really low range. So my strafe hood is zoomed in a lot more. And apparently Mui also does that, but not even close to the extent that I do. Apparently most people... Must be AD. Nah. Oh yeah, of course, ADing the 20-second part round that corner means you're getting strafe percent instead of W. Or does W... I don't know. I don't think you get too much strafe percent from the AD anyway. Like, it's barely touch him. Unless you overturn. And has the slow finish. Ooh. But his finish was still strong. It's still smack bang in the centre of the finishes. Everybody, the finish, CP5 to the finish is all incredibly close in terms of splits, and really is just explained by how much speed you can get through going in and how much strafe you can carry and not overturn around the corners and that sort of thing. So it just sort of steadily goes up as we go up. A few people swapping places that have had better runs before and slower finishes, other than Killa with that, you know, really just got the run done, saved the run that was really good. But yeah, it was a poor last, really just the last corner, to be honest. Last corner overturned, incredibly managed to save it at all. Yeah, that was a good run from Murray. Very, very nice run. Next up we have Rainbow Shadow, the 54-28. Go in the low route. Very nicely done. Oh, that's incredible. Last time we saw that route, it was AD round, and like I said, the closer you get, the more speed you take up to the top. So that's where, I mean, the faster you're going, the more we're going to see that route, because there's no speed cap to it compared to the route that Asdew was using, the over-the-top one. That one has a speed cap to it. Still curbing there. I'm kind of glad that more people are curbing. When I watch these, I do get a little bit, oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. But then at least you kind of see someone like Mui curbing. That's a really cool route. You see someone like Mui curbing who's up there, and you're like, okay, so it wasn't that bad. I didn't lose out too harsh because I suck at routing and figuring out what to do. Couldn't quite get it round to the centre there. Some people didn't know that the finish line was quicker to go through the centre hole. Some people did, and some people just thought it wasn't worth it because you could just push straight through. So different people doing different things. Mui didn't lose very much time, honestly, in the finish. So I don't think he particularly had that problem. Sorry, we were on Rainbow. Also didn't lose much time. Mooey didn't. Rainbow. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, because I'm comparing Mooey to Rainbow because it says there. I can't read. Yeah, Rainbow didn't lose much time in the finish by doing that because it was pretty close to everybody else. Yeah, you have to overstrafe to do it no matter what. But yeah. Okay, that I thought that was going to come out at some point, so we're going to have a skip of that second pad in the middle. I would assume Soup manages to pull this one off. Soup next up, by the way, 53.88. Going this lower route, great speed coming through. Going to be getting right, look at that, right up, as close to the edge. There were a few people getting annoyed by that by the end, and really nice over there. Yeah, I've had a couple of messages about getting so close to that ramp. I think part of it is because we also had that last week. Get as close to the ramp as possible. And we have the thing. So people were having a problem getting enough speed to always get 600 units exit out of the thing. Because 600 is the maximum you can carry into this section through the teleporter at the start. Really nice into the finish. The splits have run out, so gotta be it's an early, yeah, it's probably second or third run, only being a 3 minutes 30 into the run, going around the back edge again. So to compare, that is ignoring Killa, that is from Soup the slowest time in the finish, right, doing that outside exit. It's the slowest time in the finish. Killa obviously overstrafing about a 10th behind, but Soup's run is only 3/10. Sorry, second behind for Killa actually. Soup's run is only 3/10 behind the general fastest. I'm going to ignore Goblin because he's a little bit ahead of everybody else, but the general fastest is about the 0.8. 12.8 last CP. Next up, we have Vert, who I believe is the unofficial holder of the low mouse DPI 60 Hz world record. While he goes, we're going to do some green. It didn't bubble this week. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. He has indeed got a fine technique. He's managed to get a fake nick in. I didn't even notice it. He's managed to get a fake nick into the thing. Incredible. So, yeah. Ooh, going for the hit. So I've heard from people that it was really difficult to get this, to hit the ramp. Vert did basically lose all of the speed from the ramp after anyway. But yeah, apparently it was really difficult to get that. That's what we needed. The super close. Doesn't quite bring out as much speed as you probably can. Only coming out with 1800, which you could go in with 1100 and get 1800 exit speed off of the slick. But yeah, going up for the thing, nicely in with the thing. And then down this side route. I like this. It's super tight. And there was a problem with the velocity pad. So the lower you land on the velocity pad, the less boost you get. The higher, the more boost you get. Which meant there was some brutal spacing. You could complete it with 1900 flat. You also potentially needed 1400. Why are Vert's records broken? Because, for God's sake. I know why it is. Because it's still a PB because it doesn't save the record. We're going to skip that. Des, you understand what I just said. If you don't, we'll figure it out later. Yeah, it's only giving me the one record at the end. Damn it. Because it doesn't save them all. Next up, gibbz, who probably won't break anything. Let's have a look. There was nothing special about Vert's run. Vert's run, 11th place, so halfway down what we're watching today. And as last week, 10th place, perfectly average. Nothing special about it. Which means we're probably into the route that everyone's taking for the top 10. And we're going to see some route stagnation now. But at the same time, I think we're seeing... we're going to see better execution as we go. You know, Vert's route was very flat. He's just got mid CPs all the way across, but it does very well. Whereas everyone before had good CPs and bad CPs. Because they were taking different routes, comparatively. So they were gaining time, but coming out slower. I did miss the slick speed there. Not going for the thing! Does anyone... How much does the thing save? Can anyone tell me? A well done thing. This probably saves about 2 seconds. Or 1.5 to 2 seconds. The way that warp zone route was taken versus the one side, one front and then take the jump. Which I'm going to call the standard because it's what we saw at the start. All green CPs. I believe gibbz set that not long after logging on. So yeah, all green CPs through there. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Again, pretty flat. Had a bit of a dodgy CP4, but CP4 is so short that it doesn't really matter at all. Yeah, a bit of a dodgy CP4, but was able to make up with it a good CP5. Rewatch for slick speed. Cool. I'm happy with that. gibbz from Icelander. Hopefully I can remember my buttons, because I couldn't last week. There we go. I don't have speed up anymore, damn it. Snow is indeed faster than rain, as it turns out. And there are 2 snows, but we only have 1 in the top at the minute. Right, kaboomph, what we got? 1350 off the ramp, beautiful. Onto the slick. Ooh, very nice. 1860 off of the slick. Then able to absolutely cannon it down. I have heard rumours of the elusive 1900 slick. So we will see if anyone got that in their PB. Because there were a lot of BBWRs. The thing, very difficult, I've been told. So yeah. Next up we do have snow. That is the correct snow. 96 plus snow did not make it into the top 100. 100? No, he did make it into the top 100, I'm pretty sure, if he played. Didn't make it into the top 20. There we go. Bottom route again, like I said, there's no speed cap on this bottom route particularly, because you could just take it and then come across more, like snow does, comes really far across, which means you keep more speed going up the ramp. Whereas some of the people we were seeing at the start were losing a lot of speed on the ramp because they weren't quite making it right to the bottom of the ramp. We're gonna have to, yeah, we're definitely seeing the thing for the rest of the time, except for one specific demo, because someone told me. Are we into the top 10? Oh, of course we're into the top 10. People have messaged me things. Damn it. I need to swap files. Nicely around there. Very clean run. Oh no, no one's messaged me things yet. Cool. Next up, we have woah. Very cool map. Did start to get on your nerves because there was a lot of very accurate things that you had to do over a 50-second map. A lot of different things where you couldn't just strafe for a really long time. You had to, yeah, you had to hit things and precise and keep your spacing perfect, and then adjust your spacing because it was never going to be the same every run. And then, yeah, and a very XDWC aesthetic as well. That is the review from woah. who's next up? 13.18. Swap back to the other thing. 3 screens and I still don't have enough space to put all this stuff. Whoa, that's that one. The start is kind of down in the middle. Very yellow looking with Dez's colour scheme. Very yellow looking down in the middle. And then a green finish. So we'll see if he did have any better starts that he was able to, just not able to pull off. But it is an incredibly good finish. That 0.26 is from a different route. I'm pretty sure that was a good start for that line. And yeah, you can see that improvement there, the CP2 being faster than normal. So I'm going to say that that first one's from a slightly different route that he might have been trying at the same time. Nicely done, definitely going for the thing, as we've already said. This is incredible, getting the speed to be able to come out of there, and he's way faster. Like, I've seen him do faster ones. He showed me how he was doing that route, and he was getting 2,000 across. It was absolutely mental. But all the speed you can gather, like, you save time by doing shorter warp zones, but any more speed you can get through the warp zones can save you time as well. So yeah, really, really nice finish. One of the top 5 probably finishes. Not quite sure. Something like that. But really, really top end. And now we're back to next up with Tilted, who we are back to a very flat score with Tilted with a 52.93. So this is another one where it's a very very flat. Starts off slightly slower because we had some different routes at the start. Your general start is a bit slower than average for these guys because some of the upper starts were a bit faster, basically. But they came good. This route comes good because you get more speed off of the slick. You're able to carry more speed. So then it comes good on this long section. This is why slick was... If it stopped here at the end before these barrels, then the slick probably wouldn't have been as common. But yeah, it's really difficult to judge these sort of things, and you absolutely can't blame jhheight for trying. It's so difficult to know what the absolute nutters are going to do if you're trying to make 2 routes that are pretty close to each other. Sometimes you trick them though. Oh, that was a beautiful finish. Beautifully finished. Very, very little overturn. You have to overturn for it, but very little overturn. Yeah, I mean, the routes were close enough that we saw it in the top 20 from people that are positioning themselves in their normal sort of place. You know, jhheight in 17th, I know he didn't grind super much because it's his own map and he didn't want to push his limits. And Mui, you know, that's the sort of place you normally would see Mui. Next up we have... Oh wait, no, I did say something. Hold on. Go back to Tilted. Where are his words on it? Best map of this competition so far. 10,000 routes of interesting gameplay. A lot of space for grind. After the skip was discovered, it was a bit difficult and it was much less route intensive. But like we said, the routes at the very top are going to be pretty much the same because there will be one fastest way. But then there's people who can't do those routes or can't get them consistently clean enough. So the skip happened 1 in 20 for Manoa, Tilted. You can imagine that that's going to be 1 in 100 if you get down to the bottom of the top 20. So that's why we weren't seeing it so much down there. Yeah. Next up, we got Shynx. Took a while to get going with round 4, but in the end, very nice map. Wish it lasted longer because he didn't quite manage to do the skip, which is what I was saying. There was one player who I didn't think we were going to see the skip for, and it's because there was a big, bright orange box on CP4 for Shynx. But a very nice run with a 7-9. And you know that it's... Damn, Kane. How the mighty have fallen. He's come from... He's got 100 seconds exactly behind Shynx, despite being right behind Shynx last week. Or right in front of one of the two. They were close. Yeah, 52 with no skip, so this is going to be mad. And the thing I don't quite understand is it's just flat green across the whole way as well. But yeah, this map has been the first map at all that I've ever talked about on this stream where anyone has said to me, I wish it lasted longer. Everyone's already done with it after 7 days of grinding. But this map, multiple people have said I wish it lasted longer. So, well done, jhheight. You did make a brilliant map. Nicely around there. Beautiful W turning. Look at that. That's the fastest we've seen through there. Going for the standard route. It's a fast standard route. It doesn't lose much time. It loses about 0.2. 0.4 on the very fastest, but 0.2 on what we've seen already. But yeah, you can see, and then 2000 only just makes it despite having all that speed, which is what I was saying about the spacing. I failed a 1950 VP, so it was pretty brutal on that VP. Nicely into the finish. Really, really clean. Just, yeah, getting up to super high speeds and keeping them. Shynx is incredibly good at keeping those super high speeds, but not being able to do the thing quite in time. There we go. Next up, we have Night. The map was great. It was challenging to get a clean run with the precision required to do the fast route. How fast you get the slick and how much speed you get out of the slick play a very important role here. The porter room was interesting, though I get the feeling most people did the same route. He was wrong about that. The end trigger is shaped so the middle sticks out further and you can finish a hair earlier, but you have to do a very tight turn. Like we've seen, it definitely is possible. And we're definitely seeing it right at the end here, that it's very much faster to do. But it is possible to get a run that's pretty good and keep it going through, going out to the side. Especially if you still bring it in from being right on the edge. Oof. So yeah, here we go. Night's run. 52.68. So we're now in the top 5 as well. Ooh, nicely done. Bumping the wall to readjust spacing. Always useful. Really nice flat bottom. Good speed. Not the best speed we've seen so far, but very good speed. Overlay wrong? No, it's Night. We're playing Night, I hope. Hope we're playing Night. Otherwise I've stuffed this up. There's the thing. Still spooks me like they're doing something not going to the top one when I see the thing. So yeah, we have seen mostly that end route, but we've seen a couple of cracked end routes like woah. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the top 2 doing that, because they've got slightly faster CPs through that room. There we go, 52.68. Brilliant finish there as well. That difference, the 0.2 almost difference, I think that his previous run on that server didn't get into the center. Either that or kind of clipped the center as he went in, because that was the difference for me. It was about 0.3 versus going the outside versus going the inside. About 0.2 to 0.3. So yeah. Next up we have Source. Great map, had a lot of fun. Fuck you, jhheight. That's Source's quote of the week. Here's Source. It's a lower CP. Okay, so we remember what Shynx did in the finish with the really fast end. These next 3 are slower, and then it goes back up to the top 2. So here we go with Sauce, your North American Continental Champion. In 4th place, Sauce. Gets the speed off of it, loses most of it by hitting the walls to readjust spacing, but whatever you got to do to get the spacing. Really nicely off there. 1850, kind of slick. Hurtling it down. Should be able to take a pretty good chunk out of the cut. Yeah, very nicely cut. Jumping really deep for the slick there. Most people going a little bit further back. And there's the slightly different route on there. Just a little bit different spacing, I think, from what we've seen before, it looked like. Rather than different warp zones. Still taking 1-1 gap. Very nice into the finish. Really good run there from Sauce. Pretty mediocre CP5 by those things. But that's kind of interesting. I think potentially the 3 there, Knight, Frostie, Frostie's coming up next, and Sauce, they potentially had slightly slower exits out of from doing the thing. You could get a non-600 out of it. But here we go. Frostie up next with a 52.37, a big jump up from Sauce. Frostie's words. There we go. Round 4 was very interesting to route, lots of different ways to go, and one of the best XDWC maps I've played. The slick at the start was a big deciding factor for a lot of people on how they would do on the map, which I definitely agree with. It set you up for the ability to do things like that, but also it's one of the longest sets. Being cold doesn't help me, Strafe. I'm freezing, but I'm a crustacean, so there's that. Nearly 1900 on the exit there. Nobody's done Soup's thing of skipping that side barrier. I don't know if Soup must have just had really good spacing for it. Because, yeah. There we go. Send it up for the thing. Comes out. Good speed. Keeps it going sideways. Good strafe here. Having to readjust a lot though. It was tricky through here to keep it in a straight line and everything. You were doing a lot more switches than you'd probably otherwise want to be doing. And then you just see everybody calm back down when they get into this room. Realistically, this is like moon gravity. And it's realistically just a normal strafe. But yeah, really, really nice from Frostie. Very, very nice. We're in the top 3, so we get to watch that again. Add alert, bollocks, 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 bollocks. I missed it. Apologies to everybody who's now watching an advert. I can't kill the advert. So, Frostie runs down here, gets around the corner, gets good speed there, keeps it. Then coming up here, what's he going to keep? So he's going to land right at the bottom, there. Beautifully right at the bottom, looking very far off to the side. Then as much slick as he can possibly get, comes out with nearly the 1900. Sends it down here, probably, yeah, doesn't have the spacing to be able to do what we saw Soup do. Good double jump off of here, cuts a lot more than we saw Sauce cutting off of that corner. Very nicely done. Then you bounce on top of the curb, which lets you go up here, lets you get to there, and then you enter here, and then I want to watch it in slow motion. I was told to watch it in slow motion. A little bit laggy on this demo, because I think Frostie did end up figuring out that you can use net FPS, lower net FPS, to get a 600 exit speed. Does look the other way for a frame, but we don't believe that that changes anything. The looking the other way for a frame. Then comes out of here. Good speed here. Heads it up the side. Double jump. It's beautiful spacing to get it out there. That's really difficult strafing you have to be able to do to not switch on that. The first 2 splits. And then to get this, like you have to be absolutely perfect with your spacing. And the better you can strafe in the air, the less speed you need when you hit the jump, obviously. And then all the way through to the finish, and we will take a look at the important last turn. I did think we might see people W-turning those sections. Not this one, but the previous AD turn on there. So he's getting as close as he can. He's just scratching a little bit of oversteer. And then nicely through into the finish. Really, really good from Frostie there. Next up, we have Delta. And the words from Delta. Don't have anything to say in particular. Not the time I was hoping for, but same for everyone, every round, which is true. The Delta to Delta is 0.08, so just ahead of Frostie. Yeah, 29.29 for Delta. Death by shortcut. Like Renoa said, 1 in 20-ish. Nice speed coming through there. Nearly 1,000 speed into that bumper. Keeping great speed off the top there. Just shy of the 1900. Definitely that 0.03 is the 1900. That was another route I thought we'd see a bit more of. Getting up on top of the railing. Kind of just depends on your spacing, whether you go for that or what we saw Frostie doing. With the bigger cut, but one jump later. Nicely done. The standard route through there. Cleanly through. Big overstrafe in the end. Big overstrafe. Indeed, a manual overjump. Incredibly, actually, doesn't lose very much time there. Like I said, the end, really important to not screw it up, but you couldn't... Nobody's gaining huge amounts of time here. But 0.2 is a big amount of time. I mean, 0.2 is going to give you quite a few places in some spots in the run. Let's have a look. There's a lot of key points as well on this. You know, last week I think I was slowing down to the 0.1% speed. Oh, not the 0.1, but 10% speed on 2 or 3 points. Whereas here it's like there are so many points where you've got to take a look. Really big circle jump there. Yeah, coming through here, what's he going to get when he comes through this? So just taps basically the 1,000 units a second as soon as he hits that. Come in here. Right, that's like you're landing on that tape. Absolutely beautiful. Exit with 1891. Brilliant off of the slick. And keeping good strafe percent through here. Up and over these. Keeps it tight. Keeps gaining speed. Coming through here. Up, up, up. How much does he lose? Only 200 you're losing off of that. That's pretty good. Then come in here. Sending it through here. This is why we were confused how you get the 600 on the exit, because obviously everybody's coming through with so much speed from that thing. Flicking it out. Just on the edge. So we may see from Goblin, he has the fastest end. I'm almost certain we're going to see a different end route, because Delta is 1 strafe percent in that finish off of missing the overstrafing the down ramp, the final down ramp before the velocity pad. Big overstrafe at the end there, but he's going so fast that realistically he's not losing anything by doing it. And he couldn't, you know, sometimes you've got to overstrafe to get it in the finish with that, because you're going so fast. So yeah, let us now take a look at Goblin's run. What did Goblin have to say? He sent me a lot of messages. We had a chat about how the game works and how busted the thing is. Very solid map. had lots of better runs in the first half. Don't even know which demo will be submitted for the world record review, which there are... This is the third week Goblin hasn't known what's going on with his own demo. But yeah, he couldn't get consistently through the thing and through the teleporter into the second half, which he said it was difficult to get that, and because that second half was randomly 0.2 faster than your usual tries, and that's why a lot of the first half runs that were better died. So we'll see if we can see any better splits that Goblin had, because on the split side of things, he's got a very solid CP1 up in the top, slightly slower than Delta. CP2 not 0.07 slower than Delta, then 0.08 for the second CP, and then CP3, 4, 5 and finish. So that's after the slick, basically, are the fastest that we have seen by a pretty reasonable chunk on some of them. It's a big upgrade from a 52.29 to a 51.67. It is a 0.68, I think it is, difference. It's 0.62 difference between the two. That is the biggest gap we have in the top 20. Absolutely massive gap. So out the start here, we'll let this one play through, then we'll see what he's able to do, and we'll compare it to Delta. He does have a higher average speed by a long way than everybody else, which you can only imagine comes off of this, but definitely immaculate, and a 1900 exit. Still not going for the spacing because he can get 2 down ramps here, which gives him even more speed. 1000 tunnel, which we've seen for the last couple. Absolutely mad. Beautiful 2100 up into there. He does have faster starts, which is absolutely mad considering that those faster starts do put him as one of the fastest doing that route. Basically, yeah, absolutely mad. He's still 0.1 behind, so he must have failed that run. He's got a 51.77, which is still the second fastest time, and he doesn't even do the fastest finish. He must have just been too fast to be able to do the fastest finish. But yeah, look at the time up in this top corner. 51.83, so he's the only person with a 51, and he's done it 3 times in half an hour. Incredible. So we'll see how much speed he gets through, and we'll take a look at some stats after we take a look at the run. So he's going to get 1000 slick through here. Sorry, not 1000. He's over 1000. 1004 when he hits that. Delta had bang on 1000 when he hit it. Here, he's going to hit right at the bottom beautifully. I think Delta did get 1400 when he went up, but absolutely insane. He keeps strafing though as he goes up. That's the other thing. And then Goblin, we already know he's an absolute god of slick. Look how close he's getting to the edge of the slick, and a 1907 slick. He then runs it down here. We're going to run it in half speed because he's just so fast. It looks just as fast as the rest of them. Keeps the acceleration on. He's so good at switching between sides. Deep cut here, right off the edge, keeping it inside on the exit. Some people going in wide, out narrow. Some people going in narrow, out wide. Up here, through the back, does the thing. Comes out, not even coming out with 600 speed. Absolutely mad. He doesn't come out with 600 speed and he still has the best CP5. CP5 is just this, from here over to that checkpoint up the top there. But he's coming through just absolutely mad numbers. His top speed was 100 faster than Delta's. His average speed was 30 faster than Delta's. 35 even. Look how fast he's coming around this corner. This is as fast as we've seen. There's absolutely no way. Oh, hold on. I'm not on half speed. I thought he's going so fast that I genuinely thought he was half speed. He's hitting the ceiling trigger sooner. What was Delta? 5229 Delta? Yeah. Let's take a look at that. So let's take a look. Delta versus Goblin, specifically for the thing just here. The Delta fails that one, so we can't really use it. What else did... Well, we're zooming across. What else did Goblin do? His start speed, second best. Strafe percentage. So Delta's strafe percentage is 59. Frostie 63. Knight 63. Sorry, no, Knight 61. Source 63. 59 from Shynx, 58 from Tilted, 64. We're all hanging around the 60, low 60s, high 63s, other than jhheight and Mui, who are a bit higher because they did no slick. Goblin, 71. Insane. So the no slick means while you're slicking, you're not gaining strafe percentage, or not as much, certainly. You're gaining bits of it. Goblin absolutely nuts it. Absolutely bonkers. So yeah, here, let's take a look at Delta's entry into this. So you're saying Goblin hits the beam sooner and higher. So this is the standard way to hit it, I would assume. A lot of root sharing going on, of course. So here we go. Boom, boom. Off of this. Just going straight forwards. Just, you know, aiming. There's no way to go. 2000 here, right at the bottom. So yeah, right at the bottom, and loses about 300 speed for hitting it. And aiming for the wall. Yeah, aiming right into the wall. Needing to use that. I think, you see the very top brick here that runs along with the ceiling? I think anything above that is where the trigger is, I believe. So yeah, these guys have got to gain a little... Oh, I should just slowed it down even more. So those guys have got to gain a little bit more height. Versus Goblin, where... he is going to enter it higher. Which probably means crouching. Oh, so you're double jumping off of the support beam. Right. That makes sense. And then if Goblin doesn't have to double jump off the support beam because he's slightly higher, he's already up high enough. Let's just watch this slick again. Absolute masterclass in slick. This is the fine technique. Oh, trigger lower than the ceiling. Right, yeah. So, here we go. He's 2300 versus 2200. He's going up much faster when he hits that, so he loses less speed. 2100 up here. Then, yeah, he's up here. So, Delta was aiming for the edge of that orange bar of the units. I can't get a mouse to show up on screen at the minute. So yeah, Delta's aiming for that and everybody else. Goblin aiming for up here, in fact. And yeah, he's up quite a bit higher than everybody else. Then he goes out to the side. Then look, he doesn't come through with 600 units, or because he's looking this way, potentially he's losing speed because he's holding a strafe direction that's different to the way he's teleported through, because it's teleported him through facing the wrong way. We've seen from the ones that I've been watching in slow motion, we have seen that a few people are coming through facing different directions. We're not quite sure why, but yeah, just a bit of telejank, which you're facing the different way, but he's pressing the exact opposite strafe direction. He's going backwards compared to where he's going, so he's lost speed there. By the time it snaps him round, he's lost quite a bit of speed, but he's still able to get the fastest exit with this run. If he'd have had that, if he'd come out with 600 speed, this is a hell of a thing to say. This wouldn't have world recorded. I wish I could rewind demos, but that last jump that he's just done, hitting the down ramp at the end of that, potentially if he'd hit 600 exit speed, would he have overjumped that last down ramp, which gives you enough speed to get over? So potentially that screw up, which, to be clear, not his fault. Yeah, he'd have to adjust his spacing there because he was strafing that hard. And I don't think there's any faster. I can't believe he managed to go that way. There's no way he was going to get that round, I don't think. But you could see as well he was still aiming for the finish. He was still aiming because it's more of a triangle. It's not just like fast in the middle, slow at the outside. But yeah. Yeah, there's no faster route that I could see. Then yeah, oh yeah, the turn after the last warp. You just adjust your spacing there. Up a bit later. Absolutely mad from Goblin. Incredible scenes from everybody that week. Congratulations to everyone who played. Thank you to all of the 127 people who've played every round. And the 189 people who played this round. Let's take a look at next round. The next round. I don't have that file installed. Hold on. Hold on. Madness. It's because I had to re-download it because the fix. I had the old one installed and it broke because of the fix. So this map, I'm gonna have to go into actually playing. So you start off here, you run forwards, you drop down here. We're gonna see a lot of incredible stuff with the mine layer, rocketing through there. How did I lose speed? Up and off here, a jump there, a boost down here. Let's see if I can do this all cleanly. I screwed up the route guide badly, so maybe I can redeem myself slightly here. $69 on the up. Nah, I missed it. Hyperspeed? Not even close. This map has a lot of weapons. I can't show it to you without being actually in the game and at least trying to do some of these tricks. Coming through here, doing a jump, getting a stack, getting all the way up here, bouncing off of this. We're going to see some absolutely incredible stuff. I've already seen some really quite nutty routes from people. 50 seconds, kind of the predicted time. I think we might even see like 48s and stuff. But yeah, you got practice zones back here. You've got big weapons, big speed, big slick, big everything. This map, jhh's map has got a lot of praise, so I think I can say this one. This is the best map that we have ever had in XDWC. Potentially not once we've played it for a week, but in terms of just the general everythingness of the map, how incredible it looks. We've got Gerald down here sunbathing on his ollie bobs. The depth of weapons that we've got, the number of routes that are out here, you know, the ways you can take this. Like, it might seem sort of like there's only one route through for the fastest, but there'll be different people using these in different places and where they're going to go and how they're going to use this. And even here, the later you can shoot this, the better, right? Because you get dropped down to 900 speed when you shoot this. You get smashed into the ground, but you get dropped down to 900 speed. So the later you can shoot it, the better. Would it be nuts if someone hit that? Oh no, you're on slick anyway, so no. Coming through here and keeping your speed around that corner. Whoopsie daisy. Did not mean to press that button. Keeping your speed around this corner. Getting the rocket cleanly up. Getting speed off of it. All of these side bits are very pokey out in this room, so it's going to be difficult for people to get around. Keeping your speed down here. Zooming across here, up and over, and gaining speed and keeping it down here. Grabbing that and the turnaround that's required to get then up here. Keeping the speed off the top. Can anyone gain speed by doing off of the wall maybe? Zooming around here. This bit's going to be a run killer, but I don't think you'll be able to gain too much from it. And then this is just mad. I mean, I still can't see. I'm going to have to do it at some point, but through here, round here. This rocketry, I'm sorry for the route guide people. I had no idea what I was supposed to do here. You got to shoot the floor, then get over. Or you can go all the way around here. But yeah, getting the bounce off of here. Using the rockets in the right place. Getting the speed all the way through. Massive cut this corner. Probably see people cut that corner by taking... Literally, I think we will probably see people going fast enough to cut this corner by hitting that up here. And potentially even get all the way around to landing on this. Potentially. I'm not sure on that, but it could happen. This is an interesting rocket as well. Slick your way through here and zoom it as fast as you can to the finish. There are a bunch of secrets to be found on this map. It's a phenomenal map. Hop on the server, play it. It is an amazing map. And it's going to be an amazing week this week. So thank you very, very much for everybody who's played. It's been an amazing week, and I will see you next week for more grind. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, play the game. Next week as well, round 6, bring your own round 6 if you want to learn to map. A little bit of a community mapping thing. Get some more mappers into the game to make some amazing maps next year. You'll all be good enough. You know, jhheight, he started mapping just after xdwc last year, and he's just made what multiple people have said they would rather it kept going. Better than, like, you know, they've seen this map and then they've told me that they'd rather last week had kept going. Amazing map. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Not quite next year yet.